Hi, my name is Lisa Wallace, and I am going to be doing my video journal for Module 1 Accounting Systems. And we are going to be talking about the accounting equation, which I think is a great starting point because I myself am not familiar with accounting, and so this was what stood out to me in the readings the most. Our textbook says that it is the basic tool of accounting. It measures the resources of businesses and the claims to those resources. An example of this is what a business owes to creditors and the owners. And it's made up of three parts, including assets, liabilities, and equity, and it shows how they're related. So my second slide of my presentation is the accounting equation in a visual form, and it's assets equals liabilities and equity. Assets being, according to our textbook, the economic resources that are expected to benefit the business in the future. It's something that the business owns or controls, and examples of this are cash, merchandise, inventory, and land. And liabilities, according to our textbook, are debts that are owed to creditors. Creditors who have loaned money have a claim to the business, to the business's assets until the debt is paid. So examples of this would be accounts payable, notes payable, and salaries payable. The textbook said to look for that word payable, and that is a sign that it's a liability. And then the third one, equity, according to the textbook, it says the owner's claims to the assets of the business, the amount of assets that are left over after a company has paid its liabilities, and then it's the company's net worth overall. So examples of this would be owner's capital, owner's withdrawals, revenues, and expenses. And so what I found interesting about this was that liabilities plus equity should always equal the assets of the business. And then in my visual presentation, I decided to make note of a balance sheet because I think that when you're talking about the accounting equation, you have to make sure that all the numbers add up. And so the best way to do that is to have an accurate balance sheet that reflects all areas of the accounting equation. And so then you can make sure that those liabilities and the equities equal the assets. Our textbook quoted says that a balance sheet lists a business's entities, assets, liabilities, and owner's equity as of a specific date, and usually it's the end of the month, the quarter, or the year. And so the visual example I chose was a yearly balance sheet that had been done for a company. And then I explored the ethical dilemmas when it comes to the accounting equation, and I think the biggest ethical issue that could arise would be fraud or fraudulent record keeping. I think people could be tempted to record numbers that are not accurate to either show more money earned or to, you could even get into that whole embezzlement issue. And so I think that that might be the most popular ethical dilemma. And then so to address that, I used a Bible reference, Proverbs 21:6 from the New Living Translation says, wealth created by a lying tongue is a vanishing mist and a deadly trap. And I think that that is, when dealing with any ethical dilemma, there's many biblical references that we could use to address those, to make sure that we are aligned with God's will for our lives and for what we do. But that was the one I thought aligned well with fraud, was if you're creating wealth by lying, it's a deadly trap. And then making sure that we are getting everything, all the questions that we were supposed to. So the application of the accounting equation at an entry level, I think as a paraprofessional, I think they are just, they offer support in the record keeping, and it's a very entry-level basic knowledge type of situation. A mid-level, I just view this as moving up the ladder of the corporate ladder. The more experience that you gain with it, in accounting with the numbers and record keeping, the further you can climb up the corporate ladder. So mid-level would be definitely more than just basic record keeping. And the executive level would be running a business, being a CEO, being a CFO, having the knowledge needed to keep accurate records of a business, and managing those. So I think that's the basic of the accounting equation. I know that this project alone helped me understand it better, and I think I covered all the basics that one would need to understand it better. So thanks for watching.